Not only her own life cut short, but never able to bring new life into the world. A woman, an unnamed woman, who for 12 years hemorrhaging, the flow of blood making her unclean according to Jewish law, and unable to bring new life into the world. And Jesus asks us today, do we get the picture? Jesus is trying to show us that in Jesus' own life, he refuses to accept human misery and suffering and to put that outside of God's care or God's concern. And we all know what that's like. How many times do we have difficulties or problems and we say, I wonder if does God really care? Is there a God that really cares? I'm sure at times we've asked that question. Maybe in our own families, or because of our community, or events that have happened to us, or the things that absolutely break our hearts. The brokenness of our lives. Does God really care? And yet Jesus says, I refuse to keep myself away from those who are considered unclean. I refuse to keep myself away from those who are brokenhearted. I refuse to keep myself away from those who the religious authorities consider unclean and unworthy. And so Mark's story today, it reminds us that our behavior toward all persons is modeled and needs to be modeled after Jesus Christ. What happens around us every single day, miracles can happen in our lives. Absolute miracles can happen all around us when we live as other Christ. Now you've heard that before, right? We're supposed to be other Christ in this world. And if we put on the mind of Christ, if we put on the heart of Christ, if we put on the compassion and the love of our Lord Jesus Christ, our hearts, as we sang in the opening song, will open up. And our hearts will open up to all of those who somehow seem to be outside of God's concern. And so for Jesus, healing is the restoration of meaning to people's lives. People who have lost meaning in their life. It doesn't matter about their physical condition. Jesus is worried about the meaning of people's lives. How many times have we met people who feel that they've just lost all meaning in their life? They just want to be meaningful to somebody. They want somebody to care. They want somebody to love. They want somebody to love them. Just imagine all of the daughters of Jairus in this world dying because of lack of food, water, medicine, the necessities of life, the safety and the security that they deserve, the families they deserve. Think of all those families, all of those little children who somehow feel that maybe their life is not meaningful. Parents who feel that their lives aren't meaningful. They're only partly alive. Imagine all the daughters of Jairus in this world that each night go to bed hungry. We talked about that last week. Or the millions of homeless and the refugees that are in our world, trying to find a place to live in safety, where they can raise their family and see their children grow, and not have to suffer from the war and anger and all that surrounds them. Imagine the 32,000 people who commit suicide every year in the United States. And that touches the lives of all of us in some way. It's touched my family's life. I'm sure it's touched many of your family's lives. Certainly has touched the lives of many families in this community. People who have lost meaning, who have been cut off from the community for some reason. Because of domestic violence, because of bullying, because of heroin or crack addiction, unemployment, where they just lose all meaning in their life. And they're searching for something to hold on to, even if they have to reach out and grab the hem of Jesus' garment, just to find some safety net. So which one of these people, if they could just touch the hem of Jesus' robe, just touch the life of another Christ? And who's the other Christ? You. There's people out there that just all they want to do is just touch the hem of your clothes. Just so they know that you care. That they're meaningful. That they're not unimportant. What kind of miracle would it take for that to happen in our daily life? To transform the world so that all God's children, all God's images can rise up to a new life and bring new life. So what you need to do this week, and what I need to do this week, is bring new life to this world. Now, someplace, we're going to go this week, we're going to be someplace, and somebody is going to need us, and somebody is going to reach out to us. Hopefully we'll be able to respond. And Jesus shows us that just being there, and letting Christ do whatever He can through us is all that's needed. And somehow the miracles will happen. Mother Teresa said, "Let us touch the dying, the poor, the lonely, the unwanted, according to the grace that we have received. And let us not be ashamed or slow to do the work of God."